This is the Check-A-Pro Radio Show. Check-A-Pro Joe has assembled a team of pre-qualified home service contractors to bring you the latest in services, products, and techniques. Now, here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Check-A-Pro Joe.
One of my favorite subjects, believe it or not, to talk about is your garage door. It's often used by many people as their front door. It goes up and down all the time. We sometimes take it for granted. I've asked a garage door expert. He's actually a friend of mine, too. He's actually a guy who's been out to my home and put in my new doors, and he maintains them. His name is Adam Greer from Easy Lift Garage Doors and More. And I've asked him to come in to talk about the number one reason to hire a garage door professional. For me, it's an obvious reason, but for you, listen up. You're going to learn a lot. Adam Greer, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe. It's always great to be on your show and be part of what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for being my garage door guy. You and your team take care of me. Quick story, everybody. Years ago, I had a problem with my garage door. I sent a picture to Adam, and I said, Adam, I need a new garage door. He said, I don't know about that, Joe. Let me come out and take a look. I see the picture, but I might be able to fix that. I'm like, this thing, at best, is on life support. Sure enough, he comes out, and he screws it together. Literally, and it worked for a few more years, so he saved me some money and some time, and then I said, it is time to get new doors. So then he set me up with these beautiful insulated doors with the lights in them, the windows. It's sweet, and they've been running smoothly for a few years now, and he's my go-to guy here where I live. So I think it's very important to have a professional garage door guy, and Adam is that, but I want Adam to explain the number one reason to hire someone like him. So what's the number one reason to hire a garage door professional versus doing it ourselves?
That is the question of all questions. The number one reason is, as you mentioned, that door gets used, all day long. We take it for granted, but we don't understand how much that door actually weighs. The counterbalance of the springs makes it seem like it weighs nothing. People think the opener is doing the work, just lifting it and closing it, but it's the springs. And those springs are under extreme tension to counterbalance the door. So for example, your door, your double door, your 16-foot wide door, weighs close to 300 pounds. Now you wouldn't know that when you open it, and just even when you're doing it by hand, you pull the emergency cord, open it by hand, it feels like it weighs nothing. But that sucker is, if it falls on you, it's going to hurt, right? So the number one reason is the weight of the door. It's deceiving, and you're going to get hurt. And we see it all the time. People start trying to repair their own doors, and they get buried under the trouble. Ends up making the matter worse. Oftentimes, what would have been just a repair turns into a brand new door. It is. Don't be deceived by the smooth operation of that door. That spring breaks or wears out. Maybe it hasn't quite broken, but it's struggling because it's on the verge of breaking. Because all springs are going to break. Don't do your own repairs. I show up to many bloody garage floors where people now have stitches when they answer the door because they were trying to fix their own door. That's not a scare tactic. That's a fact.
No, you're right. And stitches is the least of the problems. I don't mean to scare you either, but if you go online and you start typing in things like garage door accidents, missing fingers, eyeballs, there are some sad stories out there. It's because of what Adam said. The spring is under a lot of tension, and it is designed to pick that heavy door up. It is not meant to be wound or unwound or repaired or replaced by anyone but a professional like Adam over at Easy Lift Garage Doors and More. He's been doing this for a long time, family-owned and operated business. Now, I will say this, and Adam, I'm sure you'll back me up because you know a lot about home services and what it costs. To have someone come out and either maintain, repair, or replace a garage door is one of the least expensive home improvements or maintenance items out there compared to like a new roof or HVAC or electrical or plumbing.
Absolutely. In fact, just the service call alone, what's involved in those other HVAC things, plumbing, it's just a much more intensive inspection. Ours is a pretty straightforward inspection, so just the yearly maintenance to inspect it is cheap. Less than $200 a year to come and do a safety inspection and lubricate your parts and make sure you're safe.
Like a lot of things we take for granted in our lives, if you don't take care of it, it will walk out the door. Don't take it for granted. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for joining me here on the show today.
Again, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Go to Google and Google Adam's company, Easy Lift Garage.
Check-A-Pro is your local source for pre-qualified contractors. Stay tuned for more of the Check-A-Pro Radio Show.